Imagine the thoughts of Captain Vancouver when he first set eyes on this beautiful fjord from the HMS Discovery in 1792. One of the first European explorers to survey this area. He named the spot Hood's Canal after the British Lord Hood. He could not have known then the complex geological history that created this pristine site, or the changes people would bring in the future, making Hood Canal what it is today. Your view is different from Captain Vancouver's ship-to-shore outlook. I'm standing at the headwaters of the Hood Canal wetlands. Now, this is a beautiful day. It's the end of April, and the weather forecast says it's raining day every day. So I'm very glad that I get a chance to come out between the raindrops, little blue sky, little sunshine. So today, what I want to share is an email I received from a client of mine, Jenny. Jenny and I had an intensive session, 4-hour session, a couple of weeks ago. And I'm going to read her email, then raise her question. So she says, "Hi Kemila, I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to touch in with you since our big eye-opening session." So that's an intensive 4-hour session we had. Lots of beautiful realizations and unfoldings since we spoke. Still working on the words "I love you," but managed to free myself of him and any attachment to him when I admitted to my best friend I loved him. So what we worked on was me encouraging her to admit to herself that you do love him. But she was very good at telling all sorts of stories about him in her head. So that's what she did, which is strange, but it released something in me and it feels so good. I think I finally understand what "I love you" as a standalone statement really means now, or better said, feels like. So then she says, "That said, I still feel somewhat stuck when it comes to building stability in my finances. There's a massive part of me that's like, it's okay, everything will work out, which didn't fully exist before, so that's great." Then she went on saying, "But there's also the part of me that still feels a lack of control, a lack of trust in believing I can create abundance and a financial overflow without burnout or forfeiting my freedom, resulting in me still stopping myself from taking action. Or when I do take action, not feeling aligned and immediately drained." So Jenny, actually this is in alignment with a few days ago I decided to make my next new product. I haven't done this for a while, but my new next MP3 download will be about abundance, prosperity in that line. So stay tuned. So Jenny went on asking, "Do you have any tips or questions I can ask myself to close this gap? I would love to book another big session with you, but I can't at the moment. So I was hoping there might be some tools I could try on my own if you're willing to share." Of course, so Jenny, yes, I'm willing to share with you. You said there's also the part of me that still feels a lack of control, lack of trust in believing I can create abundance and finance overflow without burnout or fulfilling my freedom. So when that voice comes up, Jenny, my tip for you is don't fight. Don't submit either. That same old voice, in that very moment, when that voice comes up, actually nothing is more important than you staying with that voice. Don't fight with it because it takes energy to fight. Don't submit because that's an old behavior you know. If you do the same old, you cannot get a new result. So that voice job is to come up and grab hold you and take you into that place that is so familiar for you of stress and anxiety and self-doubt. So don't let that take you. Its job is to take you, and your job, when that voice comes up now, in that moment, stay with it, breathe with it, and to tell that voice, I hear you, I understand you, I respect you, thank you for sharing. Now, I have this massive part in me that gives me a new voice that says, it's okay, everything will work out. So I am going to give this new voice a chance. Why? Because it's new. It's new, it's worth taking action on. Or sometimes actually, Jenny, it's actually not to take any action, it's a lack of action, but feel peace. Sometimes you don't really have to do too much, because that old voice will always get you overwork to do a lot. So stay allowing that new voice to come fully through, to see how you are going to be moved by that new voice or inspired because it's new. And also when you decide to follow the new voice, the direction in your action, the new voice, invite the old voice in. Tell the old voice, I know you want me to do the same old, but since I have this new voice now, let's give this new voice a chance and invite you to be here, to go to the new direction. Maybe it's going to work out, maybe it's not, but it's worth trying, precisely because it's new voice. As they say, you cannot do the same old, wishing for a new result. And by the way, Jenny, there is no new stressful thought in our human existence. If you really think about it, every stressful thought, it's recycled. You've heard it many times before, and therefore invite yourself not to be stressed on any subject, the subject of abundance in your business, and give that new voice a chance. What's good it is if it's just a voice, act on it, and what's new in you will take you to a new place. So Jenny wrote back to me asking, you don't think there's something inherently wrong in my brain that's keeping me stuck, right? Like surely how after all the work I've done, this feeling should transform the more I integrate and take action. Well, by the way, Jenny herself is a coach, so she's certainly has done a lot of personal growth, personal work. That's why she's saying like she should be somewhere else now rather than still feeling stuck sometimes. So Jenny, it's never done until it's done. Actually, not having your own agenda would make this journey much easier. We live in a world full of dust. Yes, you do clean your house, you do your inner work, your child work, your healing work, you clean the house, but dust does come back. That's why maybe I like forest walk so much. In the forest, you feel it's full of life. However, it's also full of dirt everywhere. But how does the forest keep itself so clean, so freshly clean? Without this feeling of dust. Maybe the forest does remind us of our own true nature. And yet, as a human, we live in this world of dust, like a mass consciousness. Mass consciousness is not enlightened yet. It's there to remind us, to give us the fear, anxiety, lack, the sense of the idea, the concept of lack and the scarcity. So that's like a dust. So it's the continuation work as long as you are still a human. Therefore, no, Jenny, it's nothing wrong, inherently wrong with your brain. It's just not a linear journey. You do your work, and even though the dust comes back, it's still important to periodically clean your house, make it easier. So everything you have done counts. It's not wasted. Clean the house, dust come back. The world we're living is full of the dust, full of the ideas of lack and scarcity. So it's the environment, you know, the ideas of lack and scarcity and the fear and the anxiety. It's like a gravitational pull that pulls you back. And so it's not your brain, but it's a human part of you. needs to be transcended. You already said, you told me in your first email that there's a massive new voice in you that is actually your own true self rising, and that massive part is that part of the true self, the natural self. And the fearful part, the same old stressful part, is the human part. Your journey is constantly integrate to acknowledge the human part. As long as you're human, you have the human thoughts and the fear and the limitations. So get away from crowds from time to time. I encourage everyone to do it periodically. So you get away from this constant thinking. In the forest, you find it's much easier not to think. To go to nature, let nature remind us of our own true nature. So when you go to nature, don't go as a human with labeling this flower, that tree, but just allow yourself to go to nature as if you are part of the nature. You are part of it. Let nature remind you of your own natural self. So that's how you clean yourself, and that's how you will be able to allow the true abundant self, just like nature. Look at it, it's abundant, it's all about thriving, growing. So let that nature part of you remind you of your own true nature, which is unlimitedly abundance. I am learning how to clean my own house while thoroughly enjoying doing it. Not all the goals can yield the desired results, and not every cause can match the effect. Like, for example, some people, they hate their work, but then it brings income. And you, Jenny, you would love to tell this person you love him, but then there's a fear of rejection. And me, I disliked cleaning the house, but then I certainly would enjoy a cleaned space. So how do we go about all of this? And sometimes changing a belief, changing perspectives, changing definition might just do it. As we know, beliefs, definitions, and perspectives, they do control our life experiences, our experiences of life. And they can make what's very natural, unnatural. And here, in nature, everything is very straightforward. I'm here not necessarily to get somewhere, which is the effect of me enjoying every step I take, every corner I turn. Another effect is that how it makes me feel, like that sense of rejuvenation, a sense of clarity, the sense of energy, the sense of beauty, how it makes me feel for many days and weeks to come. Isn't true that the world we live in is already so abundantly rich? I am standing on top of this high steel bridge. It's unreal. It's a bridge across, you can say a creek, but it's actually a valley or a gorge. It's wonderful. It's so high, my legs are shaking. And on this whole bridge, and very rarely, I've been here for like 30 minutes, and about 5 cars passed. So there's nobody here. I can just dance in the middle of this bridge. That nobody comes, and it's such a beautiful place, unreal, not like the real world. However, if on this bridge you can still find the mental health advice, truly there's nothing wrong with your brain, Jenny.